We woke up to a bit of a news bomb today. Sony and PlayStation made a big announcement. No press conference, no big fancy lavish event with celebrities and reveals, just some articles and some social media posts. Here's the deal. The next generation PlayStation, which Sony has already been pretty candid about in the past, is officially going to be titled PlayStation 5. No fluff, no nonsense, they're just keeping the number party going. That's the official name from here on out. It's not PlayStation Infinite, not PlayStation V, not PlayStation Eternal. No weird changes, just good old-fashioned numbers. And hey, I guess that works. Not only that, we also know the official release window of the PlayStation 5, straight from the horse's mouth, from Sony. We've kind of known that it would be near this thanks to previous statements about 2020, but it will now officially be in our hands holiday 2020. So take that as roughly the fall, September, October, November, up until the end of November, which is Black Friday, which, most tech companies would not release a product after that point. So take that as the finish line. That's the rough date. Take that for what you will. Start saving up your money now, I guess. I don't know. But thankfully, Sony and their head, Jim Ryan, also went on record with a statement on the evolution of the PlayStation controller. Surprisingly in depth, too, as the next PlayStation controller will be ditching traditional rumble motors in favor of a more haptic feedback style of vibration. Think the subtle vibration motors in your smartphone that do a way better job of having varying different levels of vibration. It sounds like a small change, totally, but changes in controller feedback does actually make a big deal. Microsoft put a lot of work into their Xbox One controller and how it vibrates and how the triggers vibrate independently, so we're glad Sony is also trying to rethink traditional vibration here, because it seems to be a cool thing. These improved motors will give players more depth of feel to the vibration, like with PlayStation citing examples of being able to feel different levels of hits, gradually crashing into a wall, or even different textures on a floor that your character is stepping on. And the triggers on the controller will also be adaptive, and depending on the game and situation, they can have more tension or resistance. Which might sound slight, but it is actually pretty cool if it works and is utilized as actually promised. I'm still looking at that touchpad. Thanks to a new exclusive article from Wired, where, once again, they get the official details from Sony themselves, we also know the controller will have an improved onboard speaker, it'll be USB-C based for charging, and will have a larger capacity battery specifically for powering the vibration motors. This will make it heavier than the DualShock 4 controller on record, but according to Sony reps, it will be only slightly heavier than an Xbox One controller with batteries in it. So there's that. But Wired also got to take a small look at the interface, it seems, and went into the concept that installs might potentially be modular, like choosing to install single-player or multiplayer modes separately. Now, that's already a thing in this generation, and I'm not that excited. It's not that great right now. Maybe the new and improved solid-state drive storage on the PS5 will help with that. In a previous video, we did discuss how Sony also went on record and revealed their SSD technology with Mark Cerny that will make load times insane and even possibly ahead of current competition. According to Wired, this SSD will help with load times, obviously, but also startup times and streaming technology. And as some of my fellow PC players know, SSDs are already a friggin' game changer with everything in games. And if Sony has some hybrid hardware-software tweaks up their sleeve like Mark Cerny says they do, it could make a profound difference for console gaming, one that we think it sorely needs in this next generation. That and redesigned UI has been confirmed, and I'm grateful for that. Speaking of that stuff, just to cover our bases, in case you didn't know, Sony has also been forthcoming about the specs. It's all out there, it's AMD architecture, and they've talked about teraflops and stuff like that. We'll leave that for the other video. But they've also detailed how backwards compatibility will thankfully work theoretically seamlessly, and along with that, we've also known PSVR will continue to be supported. Now there's more, but like I said, we wanted to focus on the newer stuff with this video, including one other thing I wanted to point out. That leaked developer kit concept art thing, that patent, that was real. This probably isn't quite what the console will look like, but we know developers have these to develop new games, and they have the new controllers, and they've been working on developing games for the PlayStation 5. Two examples of that, kind of. One, Guerrilla Games has been hiring quite a bit, and it's led to a lot of articles and a lot of speculation that Horizon Zero Dawn 2, or whatever it will be called, will be a PS5 game, maybe even a launch game. But one other really exciting statement was from the Wired article that I want to point out. President of Blue Point Games, Marco Thrush said, and I quote, "We're working on a big one right now. I'll let you figure out the rest." Now, that's a really, really small quote. This is interesting. As you know, Bluepoint Games is known for extremely well done remasters and reworks of older games, who has been working closer and closer with Sony, and most recently did the excellent and gorgeous kick-ass new version of Shadow of the Colossus, a PlayStation 2 classic. We've known they've been working on something for a while. They have gone on record before. This isn't the first time they've hyped it up as quite a big thing, but we have no idea what it is. It could be anything. Jak and Daxter, Konami gave them Metal Gear Solid, Sly Cooper, some other top-selling PlayStation franchise, or even a third-party classic franchise. Dude, I have no idea what it could be, but it's fun to speculate. But that's some of the new information about the PlayStation 5. We wanted to get it out to you guys as quick as possible, have a little fun with it, pick it apart, talk about it. So now we gotta do that in the comments. If you have any insight as to what you think Bluepoint Games might be making, let's talk, let's have some fun. Also, what are you looking for from a next-generation console if you're a Sony fan? Anything you want. They're probably not listening to us, but we can have a fun conversation, so let's talk in the comments. If you enjoyed this video though and learned something, clicking the like button is the best way you can help us out, and we'd really appreciate that. But if you're new, consider subscribing and maybe hitting that notification bell, because we put out new videos every single day. But hey, as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.